I mean, you didn't brush your hairs.
I
Me neither.
know. I had to go out and gather eggs from the chicken, so I guess I got my hair messed up.
TMI.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How's the weather out there?
I know. Oh, it's fine. We're doing fine today in Texas.
We have fine. We had a big problem over there. And how's your wife? Is she after her health thing or before or what?
Well, she has this nerve pain in her right leg.
Listen, let's pray for her. This is being recorded, so I don't want to talk about stuff that's too private. But we're all praying for Peggy Booker that she should be able to overcome her pain, and that
Thank
God is
you.
the healer of all flesh. And amen.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Is that a picture of her on your desk behind you on your right?
Oh, yeah, let me see. This is an old picture. This picture is 55 years old.
That's her.
It's a wedding picture.
I see how you guys stayed married so long. You're never in front of a camera at the same time.
But there really is a Peggy. I just showed you her picture. Absolutely. It's the love of God put in our hearts for each other.
Baruch Hashem, amen. So beautiful.
That is bigger than human love that we have for each other. So the two of those together are a cord that cannot be broken.
You mean the three are a cord that cannot be broken?
Right. Absolutely. God's love and our love for each other. So that's three. Him, God, and me and Peggy. That's three.
The Jews have a tradition. Let me try to draw this for you. 1 second. How shall I do this? Here we go. 1 second. Let me open this up. Share the screen first of all. Now open this up. Okay. You see the screen over here? The whiteboard. You see the whiteboard?
I see the notepad. There's nothing on it.
Right now, there's nothing on it. Here it comes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the word. I'm drawing the word in Hebrew. Ish and
Ishai.
The Isha, right. Aleph. I'm a lefty and I'm drawing with my hand, doesn't it? Isha.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, this letter and this letter are identical.
Yes.
And this letter and this letter are identical.
Absolutely.
And this letter, maybe you already know this, but I'm the one who's talking now. This letter. So this is the word for ish, which is man, and this is the word for isha, which is woman. So the Talmud says, I don't remember if it's the Talmud or some other, the sages say, ish and isha, a man and a woman, if God is in them, no, I'm sorry, if they merited, in other words, if they behave properly and do everything right, then God will be with them. But if they and if they don't, what does that mean? Here's the difference between, here are the letters that are added to those names. This is called a Yud and this is called a Hey. These two letters spell Yah. That's the name that you're familiar with, right?
Absolutely.
So Yah is the name of God. So if the man and the woman are okay, then God is with them. That is the non-overlap, and it comes into both of them. But if God is not with them and they're not okay, then you get rid of the, let me see if I can somehow delete this. I'm not sure. Let me just put an X over it. You get off of this and you get off of that. Then you just live with the Aleph Shin on both of them. And that together spells Ish, which means Esh ochaltam, fire will consume them. So that means that there's always there could be a triangle. If you bring God into your triangle with your spouse, then together you guys are, like you said, a three-pronged cord that doesn't fall apart, and other blessings. But if you take God out of the equation and you don't, or either because God is out of the equation, or because you're not, because God is out of the equation, you have a negative situation, or because you have a negative situation, God goes out of the situation. In any case, that's what's left. So that is I think, a very beautiful teaching based on the Hebrew language.
Can I comment on that for a moment?
Of course.
That's beautiful, and thank you for sharing that. That you just stole my marriage sermon. When I marry people, that's what I start off with, from Genesis.
So under the canopy, you give people an introductory Hebrew lesson.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is after 55 years of marriage and 47 years of being a full-time Christian minister. This is what we have learned from the Bible and life to be the key to a joyful marriage. Is God has to be the center of it. And if he's the center of it, then we're both looking to him for guidance and life and direction. And if we're both wanting that sincerely, then he's going to tell us the same thing, and we'll live in unity. That doesn't mean we don't have our human differences, but God helps us work them out, and we live to complete one another, not to compete with one another.
Okay, sir, we've been speaking for a long time. That's beautiful what you said, but we're close enough that I can already start challenging what you say a bit. And I bet it's not the first time that anybody's challenged you.
No, they do that all the time.
So I have two kushiyot, as we say in Hebrew. I have two questions. You say that since we both have God in our marriage, we have our foibles and our arguments, but we're together because we have God in our marriage. Isn't that what you said?
I said we have unity because we have God in unity.
You have unity because you have God is part of that unity. Is that right?
I would say echad. We have echad.
Okay, so you have echad, unity, because you have God in your marriage. So my question is, does that mean that anybody who doesn't have God in their marriage cannot have unity, and anybody who has God in their marriage cannot not have unity? In other words, is there such a thing as people with God in their marriages who get divorced? And is there such a thing as people who don't have God in their marriages that don't get divorced?
Of course. There's no argument. But if you want your marriage to be at a level of 5, you can live at a level of 5. If you want it to be at a level of 10, you can live at a level of 10. It just depends on what your understanding of God and life is. Peggy and I have always had a good marriage, but we've had a single-minded, purposeful marriage with God as the center of it.
Now, that has been for about 40 years, you say, or 55 years even.
55, my friend.
I just saved you 15 years of wedding present, of anniversary gifts.
I know. Absolutely. So this is our secret of a joy-filled, purpose-filled marriage. So we both have the same purpose.
Your well-known secret, that it's a secret from nobody. You're happy to share it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, once again, first of all, I thought that it took you a few years before you guys got more serious about God. Am I
Well,
wrong?
no, that's true. So we went from a 5 marriage to a 10 marriage.
Okay, hold on one second. Just 1 second. Hello, Bob. Yeah, I'm in the middle of something. What can I do for you? That's true. Let me. Don't you have anybody's cell phone number? Oh, Gewalt. I'll try to send you something. Just 1 minute. Bye bye. 1 second. A friend of mine is looking for something. I just have to send him something. 1 second.
No problem.
It is what it is. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, I hope that goes. So
No
where was it?
problem.
Yeah. So my question to you is, how many? So you're saying that you have God. You're a couple that has God in their unified marriage, and that brings the something. You'll tell me what word goes in there from a 5 to a 10. What did you? How did you define that? On what scale are you on a 10 out of 10?
Well, you'd have to ask Peggy that question.
I'm asking you if she's here. Come on. No, just so that I can continue with my questioning.
Well, life is messy, and God doesn't have much to work with down here, but to the best of our ability, trying to live our lives under His rule over our lives, we try to work towards a 10 every day.
I'm trying to find that one word or a pair of words or something that I can say that people who bring God into their marriage are much closer to a 10 in.
I would say unconditional love and a common purpose for your marriage in life.
Beautiful. Okay, we've already discussed about the people who don't have this, who have this, but how many people would you say? How many couples in America would you say are in that that club of people who, again, nobody looks behind the closed doors of their neighbors, but throw out a number, whatever number you say. I won't challenge it. I just want to hear your put your hand into the hat and come out with a number.
Okay, I'm putting my hand down here. I'm coming out with a number. It says 10%.
10%. That's not a number. That's a percentage of 10% of what? Of Americans?
Of the whole. Well, you said Americans. Well, I don't know. I don't know about people in India or.
There are about 350 million, 300 million, I think, American citizens. I don't know how many married couples there are. I don't know how many Christians there are. So are we talking about 1 million, 10 million, or 30 million, if you say 10%?
I don't know the answer to that. It's a remnant. It's always a remnant. In the Bible, it's a remnant. In life, it's a remnant. The masses, unfortunately, haven't been able to move into that direction in their lives. So it's a remnant.
Okay, first of all, that's fascinating because I've heard of the term remnant when I talk to my Christian friends, and I don't know what the Hebrew word for that is offhand, but that is not something that we talk about. So we don't use that terminology for our Jewish community, but it really is similar. In other words, we are a scant minority, I think. So I think that's somewhere where we are comparable. And I also think that something interesting is that you guys, this remnant of people who get it, let's say what you said, love and divine something. Again, you said it very quickly, and I should have been able to remember 4 words, but
You should be writing down and
I
taking
really should have
notes.
written it down. Yeah. I'm not going to challenge you to repeat it. I bet you won't come up with the same 4 words either, but whatever. But for you, it's individuals. Every individual that reached out to God and God answered him, that's how you get it. By us, it's national. I'm a member of the Jewish nation, the Jewish people, whether I reached out to God or whether or not. But whatever. Let's put that. That's one point that I wanted to just touch on. The other point that I wanted to touch on was this. You have you been a preacher or a leader in a local church in your lifetime?
Yes, but I'm a Bible teacher. I'm not a preacher. So there's a big difference in the two. I'm a teacher.
Okay.
Most
I
of
don't
it,
want to know the difference right now. I want to know, there's a building. It's called a church. It's got a name. First National, First Baptist, Last Baptist, whatever the name was. That's the church that you went to for, or still go to for some years of your life. And if people say, who's the leader here? They'll say, Richard Booker. Has that ever happened? What do you call yourself? A preacher, a teacher, a meacher, whatever?
yes, of course.
Okay. So think of one of those times. And how many couples were in your church at that time?
We've had so many experiences, I couldn't remember an answer to that.
Come on, think of one time. Play the game with me.
I'll just say hundreds, I guess.
From the very beginning. Wait a second. When did you stop being a leader? Or are you still a leader of a specific church?
Well, we've been in the ministry for over almost 50 years.
Right.
And so you do a lot of things in that period of time. So some of those years what we would say pastored a local congregation of people, but most of our time we've traveled all over the United States as an itinerant Bible teacher.
Right. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the church, your home church.
Yes.
So, okay, forget about it. Do you still have a home church?
We have a home church here on our farm.
And that means that what? It's you and your wife and any of your local friends. They come over to your
That's true.
house?
That's true.
Now, again, you say a home church on your farm. Do you have a building for that, or is it just people?
No. The people of the building.
Very nice. Okay, so that's not what I'm asking about. I'm asking about the last time that you were members of a church, of a place that you had to drive to on Sunday.
Well, I was the leader of the congregation.
When was that? Until when?
Many years ago. I don't know what to say.
Three is many.
Oh, 20, 30 years. We had monthly Erev Shabbat meetings for years in Houston, and people from all over the Houston area came. It was not a church like you're talking about. They were monthly celebration events. So we had people from everywhere that came for years.
I see that I'm not getting where I'm trying to get to. Okay.
It's not. It's not so well defined.
It's all right. Okay. All right. So it's okay. Well, I guess I won't keep going down this line of questioning.
But did you have a point?
I'm trying to understand from a different way of trying to attack this question. How many people? You said 10%. You didn't say out of how many. You said it's a remnant. I'm trying to figure it out because I know many Christians and they're lovely people.
Sure.
And I would say that all of my Christian friends have God in their hearts.
Of course.
And have good marriages.
Of course. You're working with a remnant, my friend. Most of the people you know, if not all, in the Christian world are part of that remnant I'm talking about.
Can you identify someone who's not in that remnant instantly? Maybe not just by looking at their picture or on a 2-inch screen, but talking to them a bit, you can feel the God in them, and it's the true spirit.
Of course.
Of course.
But you love everybody the same unconditionally.
No. I'm not asking what do you do if somebody's not like that. I mean, I just wanted to know how big is this movement of God engaging with people and people engaging with God?
Multiple millions all over the world, many millions of people, tens and tens and tens and maybe hundreds of millions of people. But that doesn't mean we don't all struggle to get to a 10 kind of marriage.
Of course.
But if you have a good start, you have a better chance of getting there
Really,
than not.
Really, I'll give a metaphor. I work, amongst other things, in internet marketing. You've heard of the term internet marketing, I'm sure.
I knew you were a very smart man.
You mean you thought I was a very smart man? Why the heck am I bothering to work in internet marketing? So no, I know a little bit about internet marketing, but I'm always learning more. And I sometimes get something from here, something from there. And every day I get to be a better internet marketer.
Let me turn this off. Oh, good. It went off by itself. Good. I'm sorry. I didn't get your last statement. I'm sorry, Gidon.
Every day I try to learn a little bit more about being a good internet marketer.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with your relationship with God and your relationship with your spouse.
Absolutely.
And the relationship between the three of you.
Yes.
That every day you have to try to learn something, and you can learn it from all sorts of different places. As a matter of fact, my sister-in-law is just starting a course in I don't remember what she titled it, in a relationship course, I guess. Let me find the, you know what? We got a few more minutes. Let me find the brochure and share it with you, okay?
Okay.
1 second. This is OG. 1 second. Here we go. How to make your spouse your soul mate.
Okay.
That's all she says here. She doesn't say, she says who she is and where she teaches and where it's available and how much it is, but she didn't say this is what we're going to cover, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But couldn't you use just this part of the brochure for one of your sessions also?
Well, of course.
Exactly. That's what everybody is asking. Now.
But I think maybe, I don't know where she's coming from and her approach, but there's a good marriage counseling book I could recommend. It's called the Bible.
That's right. That's right.
So that's our marriage counseling book that we use.
Well, I don't think that you use every single verse and chapter in the Bible for your marriage counseling. I don't think that you come in to the course and you throw a dart and you spend a half hour talking about that verse, whatever it might be. I think there are some verses that lend themselves less to spousal relationships.
Oh, absolutely. So you find what they are in the Bible and you see how you apply them to your life in a loving, godly way to put your spouse as more important than yourself. So you're living for the benefit of your spouse and to help your spouse be the best person God made that person to be, rather than living for yourself. And if you both do that, it's a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah, but you don't need the Bible for that. I know that many secular marriage counselors counselors that that's the ABC of a good marriage, putting the other
I wonder
person.
what, I wonder where they got those ABC.
Listen, we're gonna say goodbye now for a couple of minutes, and then we'll come on for another half hour if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna summarize here saying that's a beautiful idea, and you've given me a great idea. I'm going to bli neder, I'm not promising, but I'm going to look into creating a course like that. The Jewish perspective, the Jewish biblical perspective on love and marriage, learning from the Bible and Jewish and traditional Jewish sources how to make sure that you have the best marriage possible.
That's very good. I have a book called Love and Marriage from a Jewish Perspective. I don't know where it is, but I have it here somewhere.
Did you write it?
No, I didn't write it. A Jewish scholar wrote it. I don't know where it is, but when you study these things, you want to learn from everyone you think who might have something to say.
Absolutely. Well, sir, I've certainly learned a lot from you this half hour.
No.
Yes.
I'm honored and humbled that you did.
First of all, you have what we call in Hebrew hadrat panim. You have a shining countenance, and just spending time with you, I feel better, and that's what the bottom line of all learning is. I want to become a better person. I feel that spending time with you, I become a better person, sir.
You're too kind.
And we'll be back in a few minutes, and then we will continue. So you what did I say that you can? Yeah. Please go out and then come back in. Okay.
Okay.